Hello, everyone. So, this is just going to be a quick video on a combination of organizing and motivation. I'm going to tell you how to confront your analysis paralysis. So, analysis paralysis is a process that occurs when overanalyzing or overthinking a situation causes decision making to stall. We've all been there. We all know what it's like when you feel overwhelmed, whether it's because you are just prone to anxiety, maybe you feel like there's a lot of information to take in and you don't have time to process it. Maybe you feel like you're not qualified to process that information to make that decision. Or maybe you're just very excited and you are having difficulty, calming down and slowing down and thinking about things and making the right decision. Perhaps you might even make the best decision for you, but the process is just filled with nervous energy and anxiety. So, I'm going to tell you my 3-step plan for approaching analysis paralysis head on, working through it, and remaining calm and making good decisions. So, the first step to tackling analysis paralysis is to stop yourself in the moment and ask yourself, am I listening? Why are we going to do that? Well, oftentimes people will hear what is being said, the options that are being presented, what is being asked of them, but they only hear so that they can think of their next response while the other person is talking or while they're reading the instructions or whatever the case may be. However, you're taking in the information, the request, whatever it is that's leading you to need to make a decision. This is problematic because you cannot make an informed decision unless you have fully understood what is being asked as well as all options that are being presented. So for that reason, we need to stop, just arrest those thoughts that are forming in your mind, suppress the urge to constantly think of a rebuttal and focus on that versus actually taking in the information. Do that, make sure you're listening, and then we proceed to step 2, which is slow down. Before you respond, slow down, slow the timeline down if the situation calls for it, if you don't feel prepared, if this isn't an urgent life or death situation. Fortunately, the overwhelming majority of decisions we make in this life are not life and death. So, inquire about a deadline. That lets you know exactly how much time you have to think it over, to get more information, to do your research, and to make a good decision. In addition to inquiring about the deadline, you may want to ask for the information or the request in writing. Now, there are several clever ways of going about doing this. You can, if it's a friend or if it's something casual, ask the person to text you so you'll remember to address the request or the question or whatever the case may be. Ask them to send you a text message as a reminder or, immediately so that you'll think about it when you leave or when you go home or, later that day. You can, if it's business, if it's medical related, if it's school, if it's actually most situations, if it's money especially, ask for the information in writing. Ask for it in writing. Ask for, if you need to, like if it's an obligation type thing, ask for a contract. If it's money, if it's work, if it's, anything that's like remotely business related, ask for it in writing. Ask them to send you an email, ask them to send you a contract, again, if it calls for it. Not only does asking for things in writing, even if you're just like, can you send me a text reminder? Can you send me an email to remind me? Can you, email this to me so I can forward it to my lawyer, my broker, my friend, like whatever. Get it in writing. For one thing, having the person put their request in writing slows the timeline down, gives you more time to think and process. Not only that, but you will receive that request in another form of communication, which can help you decipher the intent, what is being asked of you, and just process it better. Sometimes hearing things in 2 different forms of communication can help us really understand better and make better decisions. Not only that, but doing so will move you out of the hot seat and into a more comfortable space in which you can think more clearly. So, once we've gotten the request verbally, in writing, both, however we want to do it, however is best, we move on to the third and final step before making a decision, of course, and we consult an outside source and then get back to yourself and really think about this and imagine your desired outcome. Now, when we're consulting our outside source, we got to make sure that's a wise source if it's a person. We're seeking wise counsel. And by wise, I mean a person who is in a place that you would like to be, whether they're older than you, they're wealthier than you, they have a better job, they've been on the job longer than you, they have done whatever you're thinking about doing, whether it's going back to school, whether it's skydiving, whether it's entering a certain career field, whether it's, breaking up with someone, um, someone who's been there, and even if they haven't been there, maybe they've been able to avoid bad circumstances by good decision making. And you can ask people who have been through it and aren't necessarily in a good place, but only if the advice is coming from them. And if you're going to ask that person, seek out advice regarding what you should not do. And that's for people who are worse off or who did something that is similar to your situation and their outcome is not the one that you desire for yourself. In addition to that, do independent research. By that could mean consulting the internet, look for good reputable sources, .orgs, .govs, whatever, major news sources, trade organizations, mix it up. Don't just rely on one source. Make sure it's not like ratchet. You don't want to ask ratchet people what you should do with your life unless you're trying to do something ratchet. And you don't want to consult ratchet sources on the internet. I see this day in and day out, people posting things from the most random sources that make no sense. And the info is easily debunked, grinds my gears. That's something else. We're going to talk about analysis paralysis because that's what we're here to do. So do your research. Go to the library. Access the internet from home. Whatever you got to do. Maybe talk to somebody like a professional. And in addition to that, so after you have asked your wise counsel, after you've done the independent research yourself, i.e., usually going to happen online or going to a library or maybe visiting some places and seeking the info, what you're going to do next is evaluate which outcome from all the info you've gathered best matches your most desirable outcome. Now, once you've gone through those 3 steps, you have slowed down the thought process in your mind, which will help you ease and hopefully avoid anxiety altogether. You've stretched out the timeline to give yourself more time to feel more confident, to make better decisions, and you've consulted multiple sources so that you're not relying on yourself and yourself alone, so that you're not relying on unwise people, but instead you are consulting independent research, doing independent research, consulting independent sources. You're talking to trusted, wise counsel. And from all those different angles, you are 1,000,000 times more likely to arrive at the decision that is best for you. And I almost forgot. So in addition to that, of course, you're evaluating what you want and what is best for you and balancing those 3. So that's all I've got on analysis paralysis. Tell me about your analysis paralysis in the comments below. I know we've all been there. Definitely please like my videos, subscribe to my channel, share my videos. I'm here to help. Here to help you, and I'm here to help myself because these are all topics we can generally relate to. On that note, I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care and be well. Bye now.